Hey everybody, my name is Brandon Scott and welcome to the Fandom Pastor, which can be found on our YouTube channel, Facebook page, or podcast. The Fandom Pastor is for all of us who love our fandoms and our faith. Fandoms are anything that somebody has a deep love for. Harry Potter, Broadway musicals, cult films, to name just a few. Join the Fandom Pastor as we see how God is connected to it all. And don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. So welcome everyone. This is Pastor Brandon with our next episode of the Fandom Pastor. So we're continuing our series on the Thundercats. If you remember the clue from last week, it was these Thundercats are the youngest of the group and the twins. Of course, we know that these were WilyKat and WilyKit. If you remember, we are going through kind of the first season challenges that Lion-O had to go through to be marked as the leader of the Thundercats. And so we're going through each one, and this was the trial of cunning. And it was again instigated by WilyKat and WilyKit. And so as I thought about them, I think we all, if we grew up with these cartoons, we all maybe wanted to be Lion-O or Panthro or Chitara or Tigra. Um, we wanted to be the big, powerful adult ones. Now, but in general, though, I think we all identified with WilyKat and WilyKit because, well, they were kids themselves. And we heard the same things they were hearing, being told to listen to the adults, that we were too young, and all these different things. And so I think we identified most with them because we were kids, again, ourselves. Now, the kittens, as they were often referred to, they could not go toe to toe with any of the enemies out there. The mutants or anything like that, they were not able to go head to head with them because, well, they weren't physically strong. They weren't super fast. They weren't super smart. They still had a lot of education to go through or anything else like the adults. And so instead, they had to rely on their cunning. Now, if we look at the idea of cunning, very often it has kind of a negative connotation. But actually, if you look at Scripture, Scripture kind of teaches us or told us to be cunning, to be a match for these real and real attacks that we are dealing with. We need to armor up. And if you look at the definition of cunning, it's to be mentally adept, astute, keen, piercing. And so you ask the question, well, are we supposed to be cunning? And I think we very much are. Matthew 10:16, this was Jesus speaking. He said, I am sending you out like sheep among wolves. Therefore, be as shrewd as snakes and as innocent as doves. And so our goal in this cunning idea is to use our wits to keep us from being confused, deceived, led astray. And so Jesus is telling us to be cunning like our enemy, not cunning to deceive, not cunning to lie or to be deceitful in any way, but to maintain and grow in our devotion to Christ. So we need to be cunning so that we can see these attacks coming, these the very presence of our enemy. We can see it because we're being cunning. Anything less than that gives the enemy, Satan, the world, gives it a foothold, a handhold, a way of blocking us from what our purpose is. We need to learn to see those moves coming and to obey what we're taught to do. So I will encourage you to listen to the words of Jesus and to be cunning. Not in a deceitful way or anything like that, but to be prepared, to be ready for when those attacks come. So join me in a couple weeks as we continue our series on the Thundercats. Here is my clue for next time. This Thundercat can turn invisible and is based on the tiger. Thanks and God bless.